Hello, Farmers Branch investors. It's been a minute since we had an update. So I punched into the camera because I'm doing this really challenging health challenge for this next year with a bunch of guys in a local mastermind or national mastermind. Every month we have to add 100 reps to our workouts. So my legs have been hurting me a little bit. So I've been doing some upper body boxing punches to get the reps in. So very cheesy line, but we're ready to fight and go to battle with this property. We have a lot of exciting updates for you because it's been a minute. It's been about 2 months since we've given an update. So we're going to give you the update here. So first thing is we've owned the property for about 4 months. Property is lightly cash flowing. We're going to send a distribution out of 2.75 annualized cash on cash on your investment. That should go out in August next week, and we're excited to push that out to everybody. We polled our partners, limited partners. A majority of the people voted to get monthly distributions. We do this on our RV park deals. We've done this on our new Oaks at Chain Lane multifamily deal in Waltham City, and people seem to like it. So we're going to send that out monthly. It's going to be annualized. We didn't send it out the first 4-ish months, so we're going to spread that across the next 8 months. Another update, we described in the last update, and we've discussed with a few of the limited partners of you guys, the fact that we were oversubscribed, heavily oversubscribed for this investment. So we dug into the numbers. We want to make sure that we're escrowing for taxes, insurance. Obviously, we're getting that through the triple nets. We want to make sure that we have enough buffer in case things move. We have a downside scenario that might require some tenant improvements, leasing commissions. So we wanted to make sure we fully capitalize for that scenario. So basically, we are going to give back a return of capital of $150,000 in total, and that will equate to 7.32% of your investment we're going to give back to you. So we're going to send out 2 distributions next week separately. One's going to be return on capital. It's going to be that cash on cash, 2.75%. And the other one is going to be return of capital of 7.32% of your investment. So really excited about that. The other exciting news, I've been away out of the country for the summer for a bit. And right before I left, I reached out to the tenant. We got an official letter from the tenant saying they're going to vacate the space at the end of their lease. So their lease is up at the end of April. The building will be vacant in May. This is super exciting because now we can officially start marketing the property for sale. This is not in the newsletter, but just kind of in the video here. We had a handful of people reach out when we were raising capital for this deal, 6 people that either wanted to buy or lease the property, thinking that through Facebook ads, when we were raising capital, thinking that the ads were for selling the property. So we reached out to them today to see if they're still interested in buying the property. We're going to focus our efforts initially on owner users. So our team is compiling a list of tenant rep brokers in the market. There's some online communities specific to tenant rep brokers. Tenant rep stands for tenant representation. So these are brokers that represent tenants, not necessarily landlords. And these are the perfect brokers that would put a tenant into our property and buy the property outright versus selling to an investor and leasing it up. So we're going through compiling that list of tenant rep brokers. We're compiling the list of tenant communities. We created a flyer, an initial flyer. We're going to post the listing on LoopNet and Crexi for an official marketing campaign. As you know, my partner Scott's a broker, so he's going to be our seller's broker. And really excited about kicking that off. So that should be fully kicked off in the next couple of weeks. We're going to price the property pretty high initially and see kind of how the market reacts. Again, targeting an owner user because they're going to pay more. And if we're unsuccessful in getting good leads through that effort, we'll, at the end of September, near the end of September, we'll sign a direct listing with a broker, a local broker, to market the property. So update on the concrete work. As we discussed before, we had some money in escrow. When we closed on the property, that money was used to complete the concrete work. So we had a crack in the warehouse that was repaired, and then some work outside in the yard that was repaired. 2 patches of concrete just enhances the value of the property to the next tenant or buyer. So really excited about that. We got that reimbursed. Looks really good, and you can see pictures in the newsletter. And then one minor item that we're thinking about, Scott has pushed a lot of brokers through the property to kind of get their feedback on things we might want to do before we try to sell, or at least a carrot to dangle to a potential buyer, like you could do this, selling them the dream. So some of the feedback that we got from brokers, and these are landlord brokers, there's I think 4 trees on the left-hand side when you're looking towards the property, where the right before where the yard space meets the grass. So they recommended maybe kind of creating some line of sight there and chopping those trees down. So we're considering that as well. So really excited about this update. We'll keep you abreast on how the sales efforts go. You should see that distribution happen sometime next week. 2 distributions, one a return on capital, one return of capital. Make sure your Agora system is updated with all the bank account information. I think it's set up, but if not, make sure it's good. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either me or Scott. Thank you for your time.